Hey everyone, Certified High Performance Coach Michelle Weimer here with you today. Thank you for joining me for Wednesday Wisdom. And if you've been waiting for me to get on the line, I apologize. You gotta love technology, right? I mean, everything is changing in the world right now. Why not technology? So I was having a hard time actually getting on live today, but here we are. So I don't want to waste any more time on that because I have a lot to talk to you about today. Today we are continuing on our series of the lies that worry tells us. And, it's really kind of interesting. I've been thinking a lot about this. When I decided to write about this, it was long before the COVID-19 pandemic ever started. I usually line out a lot of my topics for the whole year or earlier on in the year, but I feel like it's perfect timing actually, because so many people are worrying and stressed right now about everything that's happening in the world. And whether you're worried about your physical health or the health of loved ones or your economic health and well-being, there's a lot of worry happening. And so I think that it's just fitting that I'm talking about what the lies that worry tells us right now during this very uncertain time. So anyway, today's lie that I'm going to talk about is the lie that this will last forever. So if you missed the other lies that I've been talking about, please go back through the page here and watch those videos, or be sure you're signed up to get my email so that you always have first access to everything that I send out. But the lie today is that this will last forever. And the truth is, usually most things do not last forever. It might feel like they last forever, but that's not usually the case. Now, that being said, I realize that some things do last forever. Some things are permanent, right? We may lose a loved one. That may be permanent. There may be a relationship that ends forever. Maybe you lose a job and you never go back to that job. But the experience that we're having in that moment doesn't last forever, because we continue to change and grow. So even if some situations may last, where you're at in that moment doesn't last. That changes. Nonetheless, most things, they do change. We do move on, and things don't last forever, but it feels that way, and it can feel that way. And if you're stuck at home in social isolation right now, you might be feeling that right now, like, oh my God, this is going to last forever, right? But it's not. So I want to talk to you a little bit today then about how to, of course, recognize that deep fear that you might be having and how to move through it. So the underlying fear that goes with this particular lie is a fear of loss. Okay, we often think of loss, again, maybe as a physical thing, but it might be something like losing time. It might be losing something that is, yes, important to you. It could be losing money or losing your health or losing a person, but it might be losing time with family. It might be losing time at work. It might be losing a part of yourself, right? Maybe you feel like you lose a part of yourself during a difficult situation. And so that fear of the loss is like, oh my gosh, this is going to last forever. I'm going to lose this thing forever. And that's, again, not always the case. And you can probably think back to maybe some other hardships or struggles that you've had in your own life in the past. And it's felt like you have to give up everything, or you're giving up all your free time. Maybe, think when you're in college even, and things were difficult or hard, and you were like having to push through and get things done. And it felt like, oh my God, this is going to last forever. But it didn't. You got through it, and you gained that time back, and you also gained a lot of other things along the way. You probably gained knowledge, and you gained a degree, and you gained perhaps that next step to getting you on to your career. So sometimes struggle is not the most horrible thing that can happen. We just need to get through it and know that we can come out on the other side. So let's, again, the pandemic that's happening right now is causing a lot of people to really be fearful and to really worry a lot. And I understand you may be feeling there's a risk of losing your health, there's a risk of losing loved ones, there's a risk of losing your livelihood, your career, or your business. There might be some worries about the losses that your kids are going to experience by not being in school. Lots of uncertainty in our future. But even so, we can shift our focus, we can shift where we're putting all of our thoughts into something that serves us better, into figuring out how to maneuver in this new normal, figuring out how to navigate all of the changes that are happening and occurring right now, how to thrive even during this time. It's not impossible to still thrive during difficult or uncertain times. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a second, but let me just give you this one tool that you can use. Okay, so this is called RWID, and I find that this is so appropriate for the worry or the lie that worry tells us about this will last forever, because RWID is really about identifying the relative weight of importance and duration that our thoughts are consuming. So duration, you think about this, you think about the time, right? How much time and importance are you putting on the negative thoughts and the worry, the struggle that you might be feeling right now? And, think about this, like the perfect example. Are you watching the news like 24/7? Are you consuming yourself with all of the worry that's being put out there? Or are you taking breaks from that? Are you finding out what's important to you and how to thrive and move forward, how to get through and navigate during this time, and putting your energy and your thoughts into that? How much time are you spending on that? And if there's not a healthy balance there for you, then this is your opportunity to change that. So again, relative weight of importance and duration. If the level of importance, what's important to you, which is growing and thriving and getting through things, finding solutions to the struggle, not staying stuck in the problem, if that is not consuming more of your time than the negative and the worry and the fear is, you need to shift that. That's where you adjust your thoughts, where you adjust your actions and your behaviors, and move into a more positive and productive way of living. Just because these are uncertain times, it doesn't mean you can't thrive. So again, bringing that point back up again, I want to tell you that next week I'm going to be hosting a free training. And in this training, I'm going to dive a lot deeper than I do here on our Wednesday Wisdoms, because I try to only keep these to about 10 minutes. But this free training, I'm going to go live. And of course, like everybody's on their computers at home right now. Why not put your time and energy into the importance of how to thrive during this time instead of the negative stuff, or instead of vegging out and watching Netflix for hours and hours? Let's be productive. Let's level up. This is not the time to panic. This is the time to level up and learn how to move forward and how to really thrive during this time. So if you want to sign up for that, I'm actually going to be talking about it a lot more next week at our Wednesday Wisdom. But the call is next week. And if you want to sign up for that, you can go to michelleweimer.com/thrive-now. I'm going to put that link in with this post today, with this video. But I want to urge you to join me, because you have a choice right now. You can stay focused and in fear of these uncertain times, or you can learn how to thrive and move forward. Put your thoughts and spend your time on what's important. All right. So thank you again for joining me. Until next week, this is Certified High Performance Coach Michelle Weimer. Bye for now.